Yo, what up, everybody? I'm Dave Miranda, and this is episode 18 of Just Give Me 5. I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe. I want to start this episode off by saying rest in peace to the legendary, iconic DMX. You know, there will never be another. You know, and I'm just really happy that Swiss and Timbaland last year were able to have him and Snoop on the verses, you know, because it really gave the fans a chance to really show him how much he was appreciated, you know, and I just thought that was really amazing, you know, and, you know, God bless you, X, and just thank you for everything you did. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. All right. If you guys caught episode 17, though, we had the one and only Lisa D on, and let me tell you, that is someone who definitely deserves her flowers. You know, just everything that she contributed and, you know, just paved the way for so many out here. You know, it's just, we were so happy to have her on, you know, just a beautiful human being. And, you know, it was just a really amazing episode. So much love and respect to Lisa D. And make sure you guys watch episode 17. All right. But today's guest has been a powerful voice in the scene for so many years now. He's a respected poet. He's an original member of the amazing hip-hop group, the Society of Invisibles. He's also a fellow Writers Guild member, and he actually came up with the name. Plus, he was a co-host for 10 years on Rhyme and Reason Radio, and we're going to definitely talk about that. And he also has a wrestling podcast called Mania, and we're going to get into that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you Roknowledge.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Roknowledge. All I'm saying is, just give me 5. Honestly, I didn't really take writing seriously until my senior year of high school. My high school English teacher pointed out that he saw something in my writing that he hadn't seen previously, and he just kind of told me to, you know, think about that, focus on that. And then around that time, I had met some of the cats from the Collective and Pantheon, which was like Judgment, and some other cats, and they had the group. And I kind of linked up with them. I had always loved hip hop. I'd always loved writing, poetry, music. So being around those guys, that energy, I kind of just started just writing things here and there, just messing around. You know, sooner than later, it was kind of like, well, you know, you're kind of talented. Everybody was kind of feeling what I was doing. So I just kind of like kept at it. Never wanted to be an MC, never wanted to be a rapper. That was never really my thing. I kind of felt with the poetry and spoken word that, you know, that was my lane, and that's where I wanted to focus my energies on. But, you know, just that little spark from my English teacher, man, back in high school. I was like almost 17, 18 years old. Still talk to him to this day. Shouts out Mr. Nielsen. You know, if he hadn't have said that, I don't know that I would have ever really thought more about writing or a love of writing. And it turns out that, you know, that little thought, man, that kind of like lit the fire within me, and I kind of realized that my true passion in life is writing. It's taken me places. I've been able to do things, connect with people, touch people, which is always the crazy part when you realize that the words that you create like impact people's lives. So that's one of the benefits of doing what we do. But yeah, man, it's crazy, you know. I used to draw. I was like an artist in like junior high. I drew really well, and then that gift completely left. So I have a feeling that writing was where I was supposed to go. So that's the path I chose. Oh man, this is the Society of Invisibles. Shouts out to my brothers. You know, it's still going strong. Some of us got this right here. Most of us got the eye. TSOI, man. TSOI came together kind of on some beef shit between Darkwater and Collective, if I remember right. And I was affiliated with Collective because that was Judgment, Virus, Bags, Nonsense. Dark Water was Sun, Indrid, Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't know if that's what he was going by. I think Con was there too, Conquest. And there was just some beef shit because that's just what TSOI did. And we were just, we had a reputation that was warranted, I would say, throughout the scene across the city. Like everybody kind of knew us. We were a rowdy bunch of guys. But yeah, we kind of came together. We had a big meeting of all places. It was like we had this conference room at the apartment complex that Arlo was staying at. And we were all there. Like the room was packed with people. And we kind of came together. The crews, linked up, came together as one. Some additional members came in, like Sneaky Pete, myself, because I was affiliated with Collective. And then we just kind of started vibing together. We did a mixtape. I forget what the damn mixtape was called. The Jack Sessions. That's right, the Jack Sessions. Shouts out to Jimmy for remembering that. That was industry beats and just us killing it, doing what TSOI and what we did. And just slowly but surely, man, just kind of started building a buzz, doing shows around the city. We were a really tight-knit crew, man. We had meetings every Saturday. We would link up at the house in Tempe, the infamous house in Tempe, the Geist Mansion. And we would have meetings every Saturday that would be more or less just kicking it, recording, drinking, smoking, whatever. Everybody together, just partying, just being a crew. People would come and go, sometimes it'd be a ton of people in the crib. Sometimes it would just be just a crew. Doing that, just being around each other, the music started getting better, the relationships got stronger, the bonds were just tightened, and we created what I believe is some really impactful music that wasn't just on a local level, man. We were lucky enough to, at the time, I say lucky enough to get a look from Baby Grand Records. In the early 2000s, they were one of the bigger indie hip hop labels. They had a really good roster. We got a look from them. Wasn't the best deal. We probably shouldn't have signed a contract, but that's neither here nor there. It was something that we all did. I'll never forget the night that we signed it. We were actually we had moved studios to this spot on Bethany in like 24th Avenue. And we were all together. We all signed it. We all popped bottles of champagne outside, like we were some superstars. But, it was a moment, man. It was a record deal that we had worked for. In hindsight, though, like I said, it probably wasn't the best situation. Baby Grand is absolute ass when it comes to being a label. And we may have not have been the easiest crew to work with either, so I'm not going to fully blame them, but mostly. But, it is what it is. Through that relationship, we went on tour with Jedi Mind Tricks, Nonfiction, and that was fun, man. That run through Colorado was something that I personally wasn't planning to attend that tour. And at the very, very last moment, I just said, fuck it, and decided to go. So I hopped in the van with the boys. We had a big, 15 passenger van. We all just packed. It was nasty. It was gross, bro. But you're on the road. You just got to do what you got to do. We mobbed from Arizona. We did New Mexico. We did Denver. We did Colorado Springs, I want to say. And that tour was so much fun, man. Became really cool with Sabak Red from Nonfiction at the time. Saw Ill Bill almost kill somebody over some paper plates in Tucson. Albuquerque. That was fire. Shouts out to my man Drew Dollars, who was the tour DJ for Jedi Mind Tricks. I even hate saying that name, but I don't want to get into that right now. But shouts out to my man Drew Dollars, man. Drew's been solid since that tour, man. We still talk to this day. He's still out there in Philly doing his thing. So shouts out to my man Drew. But yeah, that tour was that tour was fun. You know, it was our first, time as a crew on the road. You know, doing the out of state thing. Reception was dope. We kind of realized we had fans outside of, the internet and Phoenix and just, because we hadn't really done a lot of shows outside of Arizona, so you never really know what kind of reception you're going to get. But luckily, we had a pretty good presence. I know Albuquerque, we got into some trouble because I think we littered one of like downtown Albuquerque with invisible eye posters and stickers and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure we got a letter asking and telling us never to do it again. But yeah, man, just, those tours that's some priceless, memories. It's something I never thought I would do. Especially if you would have told me in high school, you're gonna sign a record deal, you're gonna record, you're gonna go on tour, you're gonna meet like dudes you like listen to before, I would have been like, nah, you lying. Like, I just love this music, I love the culture. But man, getting to experience the road it's dope, man. It's fun just to get out there and record or perform and see a crowd vibing with you. And I got to give it up to Arlo, man. Arlo always made it a point we would always do Roknowledge at every set, every show, no matter what. So Arlo always made it a point to make sure that I got to go out there and do my thing. And those moments were priceless, man. Like, to go out there, because I do spoken word, and this is some hardcore like indie hip hop shit, and to get the crowd to the crowd will gets quiet when I'm doing my thing, but then like when I'm done, when the crowd pops, I'm like, oh fuck it, so they're fucking with me, they're feeling me. So that's dope, man. Like, you perform, so that feel, that rush you get when you get that feedback from the crowd. That's also something you can't duplicate that. So yeah, those times are great, man. I look back on those all the time. I look back on those all the time. It was a great time in my life. It was a great time in a lot of our lives, and I'm grateful to have experienced it. TSOI was and is still. I mean, TSOI is still a thing. Episode 19 was supposed to have been the follow-up. I wish we would have got there. We had an incredible concept for a Deadbeats project where they were sampling Portishead. We were gonna do some Portishead shit. Like, we had so many great ideas we never followed up on, man. Because I think episode 19 would have been special. Episode 19 would have been special, for sure. So, yeah, big up CSOI, man. Guy Stadio, bitch. Man, it's hard to sum up our 10-year run to one memory. So I'm gonna give you guys 3 little quick ones. First and foremost, man, shouts out to my big bro, my OG, Matt Locks, for even giving me the opportunity, to be a part of Rhyme and Reason. I was just a dude that used to go up to Friday Night Flavors to hang out and just vibe out with the guys. And once Matt gave me the green light to go up there every Friday, I was there every Friday for a couple years. And then when Matt left, he got an opportunity for a new show. So he hit me and was like, yo, will you be my co-host? And I was like, word? I'm like, yeah, of course, man. Like, honored. Never that I think we'd have the run we did. 10 years, exactly 10 years. That's a long time in radio. But memories, man, geez. The first one, first and foremost, would be because of doing Rhyme and Reason, we got to host a Nas show in Flagstaff, Arizona, at the Orpheum. And I had just reached out to the promoter of the show, told them who we were, and they were like, yeah, you want to host? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, of course I want to host. And Matt, knew Green Lantern because Green is Nas's tour DJ. So Matt knew Green. So we were trying to get an interview, and we actually got one set up. So I got to host the show. Right before Nas went on stage, I was in this little side corridor. He walked past, and I gave him a pound. He went out there, did his thing, and then after the show, we got to go on the tour bus, and interview Nas. Now, I will say this was not my crowning achievement in interviewing history or all of the interviews that I've done. This might have been my absolute worst interview ever, because I was starstruck like a motherfucker. If you know me, Nas is greatest of all time. And I was 3 feet away from one of the main reasons why that I write. Like, I was starstruck. I asked one question. It was the most generic, like, basic hip hop interview question. And then I just put my head down and Matt took over. Looking back, I wish I wouldn't have been as starstruck because I had so many questions I wanted to ask. Luckily, Matt, swooped in, saved the day. So that was cool. I also was able to get I got my copy of Illmatic. It was written, and Stillmatic, all the 12s signed that day by Nas. So that was huge for me, to meet him. Another good memory from Rhyme and Reason, definitely would be meeting the big homie, Dave New York. Rest in peace to my brother, man. You were missed. Being a Dilla fan, you knew the voice just because of that skit with Dave. And because of Rhyme and Reason, I also got to meet Illa J, which is Dilla's brother. Got close to him. And then by chance we met Dave, and Dave from the jump showed love. Always showed love. Dave had stories for days, and Dave graciously, on so many occasions, was on Rhyme and Reason, sharing stories. And, when the show was over, Dave was always available. He would always make it a point to let you know that if you ever needed him, needed anything, reach out, don't even hesitate. Always looked out. He was one in a million, man, a genuine dude. And, I feel blessed to have crossed paths with him because of the show. Yeah, man, he was good people, man. He was such a good dude, man. He loved the culture. He loved the music. He loved mixed shows. He loved, he was a great guy, man. And, just meeting him, and like I said, he was on our show. I couldn't even tell you how many times, and it was always laughs, always jokes. It was always dope when he would come into town when he was with Talib, or when he was with the Roots, or if he was here with Razkaz one time, I think. Or no, it was Bishop. Yeah. And I remember one time he came into town, Talib was here, and he hits me up because they were staying, I forgot what hotel it was in the Biltmore area. And he was like, yo, man, I'm about to, we're about to pull up to the hotel. I'm with Tyler's band if you want to come, come say what up. I was like, cool. So rolled up in there, and walk in the hotel room, and it's a cloud of loud. And I had happened to have some loud in my pocket as well, and proceeded to chop up and, rotate some blunts with Talib Kweli's band that night. And it was, just stuff like that, man. Just random stuff that never would have happened had this show never happened and paths never get crossed. And man, it's crazy how much hip hop in general has given me. I love it, man. It's who I am. I am hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's everything that I do. I've been in love with this culture since I discovered it. And to be able to do the show that we did for as long as we did, it was a blessing, man. It was an absolute blessing. So, and like I said, meeting Dave, RIP, we miss you, bro. I know you're up there doing your thing, no man. So you good. But you were definitely missed, my brother. So big R.I.P. to Dave, New York. MMP, what up? Mega Ran, T-Call, G1 to the rescue, Theo Neo X. That's us. We are the Mania Podcast. It's about pro wrestling, hip hop, pop culture. It's just, the five of us, we all grew up with a love for wrestling, whether it's WWE, WWF, WCW, whatever you grew up on. And we've been doing this. I've been a part of the show for a year and a half, 2 years. I had just been a guest, and then Rand gave me the open invite. I said, "Yo, if anytime you want to come on, let me know." Well, when you tell me stuff like that, I'm going to take advantage of it. So I ended up just being there, and it just worked out, man. It's fun. I mean, if you enjoy, wrestling, if you're still a fan to this day, it's just us shooting the shit, recapping the shows, talking about storylines, doing pay-per-view predictions. We also have a segment called Putovers where we talk about something outside of wrestling that we're into currently. We talk a lot of tangents. So we go into movies, music, a little bit of sports. The shows, tend to sometimes be a little bit more of that than the wrestling, but we tend to steer it back towards what it should be. And I've been a wrestling fan since I was like 7. So, I grew up on the classic, WWF model, and then finding WCW later in life. Then come to find out, like my nana was a big wrestling fan when she was younger, so she would watch. And then my dad took us to like some live events as kids. Also got to go. He used to also like rent us tapes, all the WWF tapes. So we would just watch all the wrestling as a kid, and I was into it up until I was about like 16, 17. I had a little bit of a break. And then like in my mid-20s, like we would link up, some of the homies would link up every like Thursday. It was Hip Hop Show and Tell. It was I would bring some new music and we would watch SmackDown. So my love from there just kind of has been pretty constant. So to do the podcast is cool, man, just to talk about, just to get an outlet to talk about something different. We have a pretty good following. Rand definitely has fans everywhere that follow each and everything that he does. So that does help when you have Mega Rand's, fan base fucking with you. So it's fun. If you're into pro wrestling, like I said, check us out, man. We record weekly. We have a Patreon page where you can get some additional content from us. But yeah, it's just, 5 friends hooking up, talking, wrestling, just having a good time. And check us out, man. If you're into wrestling, check us out. It's a good time. As I've gotten older, you tend to think about things and appreciate things differently than you would have done normally when you were younger. And realizing that there's people outside of the family that you're born with that loves you, is also the family that you've chosen, which would be your friends. And, to have the group of friends that I have in my life, the close friends that I have in my life, it's a blessing, man, to know that, at the drop of a dime, I could pick up a phone and if I needed something or somebody, they would be there. And that's something I definitely don't take for granted, man. And vice versa. I love my family. I love my close friends as my family. And I treat them as such. And that's, as I've gotten older, like I said, that's something that's very important to me. Family is incredibly important to me, as it's always been. But even now, I have nephews. I have little, 3 and 2-year-old nephews, and watching them, it makes me appreciate every second of every day that much more. Just to experience life through their eyes and see, how they react to things and how they see things and the way they they interact with toys and other kids and little stuff that I never really thought I would, focus in and think about as much. But, I live with one of my nephews, and, being around him each and every day that's the best parts of my day, is when I get to see him. And when he sees me, he's happy, and, hello, hi Theo, and he's always happy to see me. And it's shit like that, man, is priceless. And that love is unconditional. And it's something that I hope that everybody has in their life, gets to experience in their life, because it's everything, man. That's the most genuine part of who we are, is the love that we show to each other, and because it comes from your heart, and you can't fake that. There's no faking the funk, man. Love is genuine, and I'm blessed, man. Like I'm blessed to have the people and the family I'm surrounded by, and I don't take any of it for granted, man. It's wild as you get older, because you start thinking about, one of these days, we're all gonna get to that point where it's time for us to check out from this life and transition to the next. And, you want to make sure that you live your life the best way possible. You're good to people, you treat people well, you love people. Because all that matters, man. Like, all of that, even now so more than ever. Love matters. You love yourself, love people, love everyone. There ain't no reason to hate anybody. Like, skin color is irrelevant. We're all the same. And if you think otherwise, I don't know what to tell you, but we're all the same, man. It is, just be good. Be a good person. And, just love, man. Just live your life with love. That's what I can say. Live your life with love. Because I guarantee you, if you do, your life is going to be that much better. Man. First and foremost, Dave, known you for ever. We go back. Paper Heart days.
Yes.
My man Jimmy, man, we go back to Geist Mansion. I'm gonna let you tell those stories. I'm gonna let you from your perspective. But shouts to you guys for having me. This platform is incredible, man. What you guys have done and what you guys are doing is so dope, man. So love to y'all for that. Other shout outs, man, moms, pops, my sisters, my brother, my nephews. Shouts out to my big bro, my OG Matlocks, who's been on the show. Shouts out to Carly Hustle. I know you're out there. Shouts out to Yaya, MMP for life. My boys from the Steel Cage podcast. My Rhyme and Reason family. Everybody, man. Everybody in the scene that's ever showed love. I appreciate y'all. My man Cisco, my man Paco. This could go on forever, so I'm not gonna name like a litany of names. I'm just gonna say this: if I fuck with you, thank you, and likewise, man, to y'all again, thank you for having me. This has been dope, and salute.
And there you have it. Much love and respect to my brother Roknowledge. Him and I go way, way back, man. There used to be a venue out here called the Paper Heart, and they would have open mics, and people would come in, artists would come in, and that's where him and I met, way, way back in the day. Always been solid, good, genuine human being with a heart of gold, and we're very happy to have him on the show today. So make sure you guys are following him on social media. Shout out to my brother Jimmy Nelson on that camera. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you guys click the bell on there so you can get the notifications of when we, release our episodes. We release them every Sunday morning, so we want you guys to be informed. So be on the lookout for that as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Just continue to be well. Make sure you're adding value to life, man. And until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed, stay healthy. Just give me 5, y'all.